are going to be allowing you to participate in a conversation. And that is a conversation chosen by the priest because he believes this is a place for you to begin. What does Catholicity mean?
Belonging.
What is Catholicity?
City of Catholics. No, belonging.
Catholicity is? Oh, Catholics in the city. Is that a point name or that's the truth? Father, that's what it means. Oh, now I believe it. So now, how do you admit the people like us who come from Mashambani?
You become a city.
Oh, by saying welcome. Thank you. Now I feel like part of you. So if Catholicity means feeling at home, then let's talk about that today. Because My Afia Africa, in conjunction with the youth ministry, that is a youth, what do you call yourselves?
Young Catholic adults.
Some of you don't know what you are. You're young adults? You're young adults in Catholic. Or you're young adults in adults. Whatever all that is, that's what you are. I'm also a Catholic by then, so that you don't feel like I'm confused. I started with MYM, so I understand, but some people need to know who they are, right? So you need to remind them. But when life starts unfolding, some of the things that you need to ask ourselves, who are you as this life unfolds? And today I want us to think about ourselves, Catholicity, as a whole where we are part of the unfinished puzzle. You know a puzzle? Crosswords? You look at it, yeah? So look at life like that. It's a big puzzle. And sometimes we think we have all the puzzles about life. But when we begin, some begin to drop off. For example, so Kamau and Kamau and Jerry, they met when they were in the college. They decided to build a life together. And they saw everything is going to be picture perfect. But something along the way happened. And the puzzles they thought would work for them start falling apart. Because the life they thought they'd have, life started pulling them on different sides. The unspoken expectations, they created a gap. And these puzzles stopped fitting. They tried to force them, they didn't fit. What happens when it gets there? You have to look for another way for it to continue working. And that is life. Sometimes we are born in families where love is given and is loud, but sometimes conditional. What we don't realize is that we carry the same puzzles into our adult life, and we do not give love freely. It has to be earned. Is that what love should be like? Is that what it should be like? No. Sometimes we also don't know because that is what we were culture, that is how we were experiencing it. And when we grow up, we also look like we are punishing other people with love. Sometimes we create friendships, friends who feel like home. And then at one point, they disappear. And we start wondering, what is this about life? It's the puzzle of life. Sometimes we need to let people go. Because people need to have a season in our lives so that they complete the picture they needed to be in part of the puzzle. Because sometimes we hold on to things that we do not need, and therefore we do not experience the beauty of life. And such is with the relationships. In our families, with our parents, with our siblings, with our significant other. I think the topic we are trying to do today is about relationships. And us, from My Afia Africa, we understand one thing, that when the life puzzles become unpredictable, we need a space for conversations where we can share, we can learn from one another. And sometimes we lack the voice to express these conversations. So we allow you to come in your silence. We listen to your silence and give you solutions, because My Afia Africa is a mental health organization where we offer you a safe space where you sign up, you get a therapist that you can share your concerns with, and you get to know whether you're the problem in fitting the puzzle, or you're in the wrong space to fit other people's puzzle, or you're actually in the right puzzle, but you don't know your purpose in that particular space that you are in. And therefore, I'll be inviting my colleague who will be taking over the conversation, Mr. William Mwangi, who is a seasoned psychologist, who will also be taking us through this season. I know in our midst is Kamau Mwangi. Do you all know him? Do you know Kamau Mwangi? Kamau Mwangi, if you're here, just stand and wave at us. Do you know him? Just wave at us. Yeah, Yeah, so he's also one member of My Africa. So Mr. William Waki is the chairman of My Africa. Will be telling us more of what is our purpose in the puzzle.
This conversation is very important. So guys, I'm going to be invited again. Then I come running, then we cheer. Is that okay?
So ladies and gentlemen, tonight we shall be having our speaker of the day, Mr. William Waki.
Why were you denying me that? Now, very nice. I'll be moving around, but just before that, let's sing a song. Do you know a song that says, I will make you fishers of men?
Yes.
You know how it's sung?
Yes.
So you have to decide. Let's sing. 1, 2, 3. I will make you fishers of men. 1, 2, 3.
I will make you fishers of men.
Now, this song, we're going to sing it like this. I saw people doing that already. I will make male, make you stand. Fishers, F, female, you stand. Is that okay? Where there is an M, male. Where there is an F, female. Decide where you want to be. Is that okay? You stand in the wrong side to the flower where they are. Are we ready? All right, are we ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. I, you, fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. You cannot, wait, you cannot be like this. We are saying this is the youth. No, you can't do that. Okay? All right, let's go one more time. 1, 2, 3. I, you, fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I, you know, there's a church in our home area. There was a very interesting lady. She was not missing church every Sunday, January to December. December during the first service, the pastor called her in front and told her, before we start service, you have never missed here. I'm going to give you an opportunity to choose 3 hymns. Hey, the lady was happy. She stood up to the crowd and said, hymn, and the hymn. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, the paradox of relationships. It is such a mental health problem that 80% of people suffering mental health, it's because of relationships. What percent did I give?
80.
Okay, they say in statistics, 80% of the statistics are wrong, including that one. So the majority of people suffering, it's because of the paradox of relationships, relating one to the other. Do you know what we have done? We have delved into reading about it, researching about it, going for seminars about it. And some people are actually very single because of that. Some people are actually in it, not because they choose to be in it, by circumstances they are in it. Others wameachwa na unasikia vibaya. I remember my 7th girlfriend. One time she told me, why are you focusing on the finger? We are discussing, guys. We are discussing. And I'm telling you that the joy of it, the joy of watchwa, the pain of watchwa leads to mental distress. I will tell you a biblical story. Sasa kuna historia ya Bible. Joseph na Mary, si walikuwa wamekatiana? Sasa Joseph, hii story iko interesting. Joseph akasikia kamoshane mahali ati Mary yuko like that. Unakumbuka hiyo story? Siasikia kamoshane. What did Joseph do? The Bible says that Joseph decided to leave Mary secretly, silently. Uko hapa na ushawacha. Na hujui. Silent. And you decide kumwacha. And another point is, if you're here in a relationship, pengine uliwachwa financially. Uko peke yako. Mwingine aliwachwa physically. Kuna mtu anasema sexual way tuko church. Mwingine aliwachwa emotionally. Are you getting my point? Na hujui the paradox of relationships. Now, before I even continue, there's a professor, very interesting professor. In his home, he had a big glass cube, and inside the cube there were some birds. Then after some time, birds would fly and almost try to enter the cube, the glass cube. And so when you visit the professor, and anakuonyesha hiyo cube, birds wanting to get in, others wanting to get out. So when you go for premarital counseling, he would tell you, marriage is like this box. Those who are in, struggling to get out. Those who are out, struggling to get in. Where is the one? What is the paradox of relationship? The paradox of relationship. We actually spend a lot of time. The times that leads to mental anguish. If you're here now, watch whatever you know. Right, you know what I'm talking about. The pain, the vacuum. And I'm telling you, there's a friend of mine, when you went to the restaurant for me, so one time, I remember Beukano, tupita na wewe hapo nikujulisha kama girlfriend wangu. Alimwambia wakapita naye hapo. Benedict, this is my ex. Akapita kwa ile jamaa mmoja sultani akapatia. At times, the pain makes us even do some inconceivable, unconceivable things. You put them as you put it. And the times where are we going? The paradox of relationships. And there are people that can't even choosing. We're going to talk about that in a few. Choosing. How do you choose? Like I had a man who had 2 girlfriends. Faith and mercy. And goes to church and tells God, God, by faith, give me mercy. Honestly. God says, you need the grace. Now, after finish the paradox of relationships, let's start my topic with a story. A friend of mine, a doctor friend of mine, let me not use his name because you may know him. He's a recognized doctor friend of mine. He's a psychology, but that were putting there everything. So one time, Dr. Kamau, Dr. Kamau, I think they had talked about it about 7 years. On the 8th year, the wife told him in the morning that today we are going for dinner at our best couple's place. We're going for dinner at our best couple's place. So the good doctor on that Friday was so busy at work that by 8 p.m. he forgot. He was working in Apahel and they stayed for Guru and they were going to see Opemao for dinner. 8 p.m. kuchoka. At 8:05 kukaanza kunyesha. The secretary goes to the good doctor from the doctor. I say, don't worry. I've never asked you before. Please drop me home. What would you do? The men in the house now, the ladies jaribu. So the good doctor thought, akaika somewhere akataka nimpeleke kwa mbona nirudi niende Buru, hata sinaambia wife because nikimwambia yeye mnajua. Si mnajua? Usiseme vile kunaenda kama. So the good doctor went kutoka kwa gari kumenyesha traffic, alifika kwa Ngwale saa 4. Wife bado wamemgoja Buru. So amecheka kuna bado kunyesha, amefika home Buru 11. Ameenda home, wife alipofika kwa dinner, akatoa juu akakasirika, akafunga kitu hapa juu spring, akabatisha segenge ng'ombe na shamba. Amekasirika. So you know what happened? Hasi akaenda kumweleza, please do it to me. Ladies, you have the grace. Imagine that akavalia dress, lakini watu wamekasirika, kuna kama mkasiriko nini sitakuwa galango. Hiyo kama kunyamaza, acha uko sawa? Akaita kugani wakasema, "Hapa ndio umejamazia saa hiyo tunaenda saa 6." Asikuwa boy, wacha niwaambie story. They my friend, ameangalia chini, ameona kiatu ya red moja. Akiseki kiatu ya red. Sasa how do you tell your wife umechelewa hapo ndio kaseki hiyo kiatu? Mazi lakini God anapenda men. Akaangalia gari yake ni zile automatic. Ukiplasi kio hivi na kitu kwa pole. So kama kwa imagine angalia kujenga na masters. Kwa hivyo mtu ana masters atachokuwa katika hiyo kiatu kwa and we are talking about the paradox of relationship. Wakaenda sasa wametambaza jambo na hilo, wakafika wakalia sio kimao au hakuna stima washana. Bishi yangu ndio kaenda kueleza bishi yangu mzigo gani? But then na kwa sasa na huyu ikieni story. Kama na wao wao wewe kumbuka kama na switch up, let's go. Wewe anaongea I'm looking for my red shoe. Sasa tuanze story yako. Utamwambiaje wewe? Utamwambiaje? Akamwambia utamwambiaje wife yako? Kiatu ni wapi? Ya huwa anaanza kiatu ni wapi? Kwa utamwambiaje? Haya. This is a lady anasema tutamwambia alisahau nyumbani kiatu. Ulitomwambia. Now listen guys. Now, the paradox of communication. Where was the mistake? Talk to me. Where was the mistake? What should have the doctor done? The secretary should have taken an Uber. Akiwini wa kanisa. Father, huyo wa kanisa. The secretary should have taken an Uber. Another thing, what else should have happened? What else? You know what is going to be? Yes. The doctor should have informed listen, by the way, the doctor should have informed the wife. Or your wife, by the way, unajua the secretary. Amesema ni mtrobomu. Alafu nikamtoa. Na leo ni anniversary yetu. Are you getting my point? The paradox of communication. How do we better our relationship? Number one, communication. Number one is communication. Let me tell you some things in communication. Number one, you cannot not communicate. You cannot not communicate. Even when you are silent, you are communicating. Hata ile kunyamaza. Now, if you are married young, you know a topic in marriage called kneel by mouth. Unajua? Kuna hiyo topic, kneel by mouth. Kama unashaka na mtoto sawa, kama una watoto inasaidiana, ambia gari hiyo kitu. Ambia mami hakuna maziwa. Unashika. If you are not in a relationship, you hautaelewa na ni sawa. Sasa hivi unapendana. Sisi mko tu sawa. As a matter of fact, mkienda kwa father for the marriage of counseling, unaenda gata na gari moja kushika na mkono. Unakalia kitu kwa kitu moja unakaa kwa goti. Hapa nani? But I'm telling you, who has the heart of gani? Wacha hapa 5-6 years unakuja kwa mara tena. Mmoja na gari yake mkeza gari. Ngine wanakaa hapo separate. Wanauzwa kuna nini ni huyu. The paradox of relationships, communication. And there are times when we see that a lot of our problems are based on communication. How do you communicate together? I like what one person was saying. If the father, if the doctor had told the secretary, take an Uber. From our hill to Kawangwale, maybe it would have saved your relationship. There are times decisions must be done. You communicate to Pekeyake. And there are times we don't talk what is in our hearts. During the months I had talk about French language. There is something in French we say, what we are saying, the one that is in the heart does not win. Is that okay? And there are many people who will talk their heart and be misunderstood. You'd rather talk what is in your heart and be misunderstood rather than keep it quiet and you still be misunderstood. Does that make sense? Again, in that language we say, Mungu anafia na idealist. I will translate. Mtu usembea ile kitu Talk. Say what you're feeling. And the text has put people into problem. But imagine, communicate. Is there anybody under 18 here? Because even sexually, we communicate, don't we? Don't we Okay, so let me change that story. And I just say, so there you go. Sex is like comedy. So, kuna watu wakienjoy comedy wanacheka wanafurahi. Sio tu watu kusikia. Wengine uchekea tu na you communicate, unapeana feedback. How was the food? Say man, is that okay? Sasa watu wako hiyo topic ni communication, which feedback is very important. And this is why we invest in relationship. That you're not saying what you're feeling. You are letting the other person judge. The times those who are married, the day can be so bad. Umeenda home, umenyamaza, mtu anashindwaje? Asubuhi ulikuwa sawa. Sasa mbona umechange? What has changed? At times it's good to communicate and say, today at my workplace, it was not as easy. Ndio mtu asifikirie ni yeye. Are you getting my point? Now, for those of you who are not in relationships, you meet when you're okay. You go for dates when you're okay. Munakaa sawa, and that's so nice. At that point, communication is even better until you get to the other side. And now you have to learn the language of communication in marriage. Because you must be able to interpret even the silence. Body language. When my wife tells me, give me a minute, I know I can watch a football match and she's not sleeping. Do you understand? And there is a time, nimekaa tu kwa sofa tu hapo, na watch tu program yangu. Afona nikachukua nikaongea saa 4 ya usiku. Then when I finished the conversation, I said, me too. Wewe, nimeangaliwa. Now listen. Finally, nikamwona nikamwambia, hata nimesemaje? Sikasema me too. Kwani umeambiwaje? Tuongea na ameniambia, I'm going to work tomorrow. Me too. The paradox of relationships. Improve your communication and your relationship will be okay. When you go to the doctor, you lie to the doctor. Unamwambia na ukweli, unampatia story yote. But ukifika home when we are dating, unataka kudanganyana. Na hapo ndio story was. That is where the anguish, the mental anguish comes in. If you want to be free, talk, communicate, express yourself. When the other person misunderstands you, express yourself further. Let's communicate about this. And I'd like again to go back to my good doctor. My good doctor, at the point that you best, there will be a secretary, nitakubeba. Let's assume amembeba. Angeambia wife, so that hata hiyo kiatu, angesema, aya, hii kiatu ni ya nani? Do you understand? Because anasema, well, those of you who drive, ushaibeba mtu alafu akishuka unaanza kunusa gari. Ni kama ameacha smell yako. Alafu smell yako, alafu unajua wife saa ingine anaweza enda anakuhug. Si ati anakuhug for investigation.
Okay. God is good. Kuna namba mnaona kwa screen. Unaiona 0702. If you have a question, sisianze kukaa, si ndio? Tunaelewana? Current people, you understand what I'm saying, right? Akabagioza. Kama unacheki, cheza na ndio. Wewe ni ngapi?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And because of that, I think we'll go to the second point. I have very few minutes. Now, the second point, the first point was communication. Talk about communication until midnight. The second point is commitment. Commitment. Let me tell you, commitment in Isha. Commitment in relationship in Isha. People actually have no faith in each other to commit. And I'll tell you a biblical story again. You remember when Jesus Christ was talking at one point, Kuna mabishwa walianza kutoboa nini tu kwa kiburi. Unakumbuka hiyo story? Unakumbuka hiyo story? Wase waine walibeba beshte yao. Sasa tuko karibu baki bali. Walibeba beshte yao. Mimi kare nimemea bali na nimea sana. Sawa. But this side is in your car. But so when those four guys were so when Jesus was preaching, huko juu wakaanza kuchini. Na kwa hiyo kusoma Bible theology utasikia hizo nyumba za kitabu ziko flat. So kitoboa ilikuwa Mungu. Imagine Jesus anagonga na pia watu wa story na imejaa. Alafu kwa tafadhali hawana chance. Wakadecide wakatoboa juu. Commitment. Are you getting my point? Commitment. Imagine the four guys that lifted the sick guy. Wakamleta down na Jesus alikuwa. Jesus hakuhili huyo jamani because of him. Alimuhili because of
his
the
friends.
The commitment that we can give to relationships. And I'm not just talking about male and female. Do you have committed people that you can call friends? Do you have somebody who can do anything for you in a relationship? Because now relationships are trend in. Relationships have become financial. Nipatie na mimi, nikupatie. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. Na back for church. So, and the problem now, let me tell you a quick just short story. There was two men in the military, John and James, in the military. And they both together in the army, they went to fight. Now, when the enemy attacked them, the commander realized they are going to lose. And so he told them to retreat. Unfortunately, John never had, and he continued and he was shot and fell on a ditch. James, his friend, was now in the middle. The army on this side, Beshte anamuita James, commander anamwambia retreat. In military terms, the command is greater than the commander. You disobey, so you are mission. And people looked at James, and slowly James went to John. Unfortunately, John died, and James went back alone. And people looked at him, the military, the commander, and asked him, "Why did you go back?" And James in sadness said, "Because of John's last words." And he was asked, "What did he tell you?" John said, "I knew you would come." Do you have a friend like that can come back for you, knowing that nikipigia beshte yako simu atakuja? Let's do some sound here. How many of you have a friend who unaweza kupigia simu saa 4 ya usiku muombe 5,000 na simamila kuuliza? Very good. Your hands up there. Thank you. How many of you have friends who unaweza kupigia simu saa 4 muombe 500 atakudisconnect? Now, let's look at this. I want to connect that story with a story that happened in my church. We used to have a corner, we used to meet after church. And for me, church is more social even than religion. So we meet after church. So there's this guy who was so poor. I mean, he was poor. He was an example of poverty. And he was even buying some samosas once in a while. Then he disappeared for 5 months. And nobody even got to know where he went to. The 5th month Kisha had warning Sunday fulani amedrive in na akapata mahali tulikuwa. Service imeisha kupiga kala mtakani tukabelia. Tukaenda kwa mzawe boss. Umendaje kutoka 5 months? Tukia by the way. I didn't tell you that I have my brother in the US. He's been sending me money to invest for him and he has bought me a car, he has bought me a house. Akapenda story. Tumenyamaza tukamwambia. I wish I had such a brother. Don't wish for that. Wish you were such a brother. Are you seeing the difference now? Now, when we are saying about friends who can send 5,000, how many of you can be called by a friend and they will send that money? I am going to make this. How many of you, church here there, you see the number of the screen and send money? This is relationships. Relationships are about sacrifice. And sacrifice comes with commitment. It is not easy. Those of you who are married know that marriage is a vow. Are you getting my point? It is work. You can't just stay in marriage and expect that it's going to work. It is hard. As a matter of fact, people say marriage is not a work, it's a sentence. It's a sentence. The things that happen when the doors are closed. You think you are a CEO, if you come home and say, my friend, CEO imeisha. Me, the place I work, kuhusu mama watu wanasema kwa elimu kuwasalimia wanasema good morning. Niko wacha nipige home my friend. Nilitumwa kitu kwa list. Kwa siku nilisahau. Na unajua mimi kila kitu siku moja vitu za faida au nimesahau kitu. Hata hajaona hizo zingine. Sasa unafikiria tutaendaje kwa chumba sasa tutatembea. And I'm telling you, commitment, it takes commitment in relationships. And when that commitment goes, or the commitment is one way, you feel cheated. Is that true? When commitment is not reciprocated, you feel cheated. When commitment is not being given back, you feel cheated. But your work is, are you committed to it? Many people are joining a relationship without the commitment. You want the benefits of a relationship, but commitment not tracking. You want the benefits of enjoying kusema this is my personal person, but you how go. Are you getting my point? I know if there are men in the house here. Men are we here? They have the best message to come as a man. But you're the provider. You are behind the peace for men. Provider, protector. You are the priest. Amen. And all those things you are expected to do. Commitment again. So before you get into a relationship, the question is, are you ready for commitment? And a lot of divorces is because commitment is important. And you know, by the way, relationship is not about money. When we were dating those days, we would even share a cup of coffee. We would share. It's not about money. There are people who go to Kempinski and they are not happy. You know this question now is about why and would you rather cry in a Mercedes or laugh in a bicycle? Kama hizo. Nikia kwa Mercedes Benz kuna tishu kanipakuza nayo. Now, commitment, ladies and gentlemen, I need to finish. The final one is compatibility. Compatibility. The problem is, most of us are in relationships for competing. You're in relationships for competition instead of complementing each other. Now, competition has ruined relationships. And you look at people, you even look at another couple looking better than you guys. And there's something like, there's always somebody better than you. You go there and say, let me tell you, I was lecturing you, saying, what are you saying? You are saying, sasa mimi naenda klasi ya 8 in the morning. Nimefika hapo Ngara, napikaza muziki kwa gari yangu. Nimeangalia side mirror, guess what I saw? Akasmoka. Unajua kaka ni duet. Unajua kaka ni duet. Hapo kaka ni kadogo hata kaka logo kwenye stage. Nikadogo. Kana jali mtu wote. Unashika kaka. Imagine kuna kapeleka kawash na kwa ndio kaosha kwa siku. Now, it is that true. Now, that man was trying to overtake me. Guys, you understand? He's trying to overtake me. Okay, for now, I'm using a Lexus 450. Now, he's trying to overtake me. What do you say about the bad? Alright, sasa, usikakati kana ni kama understand. Nikasema ngoma tukapeleka. Kana ni overtake kama fika kitu right tukakafua tukapeleka tumefika Manu High School tumeenda Thika kameanza kujiketi Thika. My friend, nikakumbuka niko naenda wapi? Now, nitachekelea sana. Tell you when I take my went back to Thika Kuja, it was 9:15, the class was over. Thank you. I mean, why were you competing? Competing with the wrong? At times you're competing with the wrong people. Now, because the ladies are part of India, there are some ladies even who have matamka na nywele refu, anafanya hivi na soka na wewe hapo unafanya hivi soka. Competition. Yeah, man, kuna watu wengine gym, kuna watu wengine gym na t-shirt zao hawajui na usisha hapa. Wanakuta kama hata ukimuuliza ofisi ya fadha iko wapi? Haizi kwa iko pale. Iko huko So competition has been relationships. Not accepting yourself is a mental anguish to most people because you have not accepted who you are. The first thing about relationships in terms of compatibility, first, accept yourself. Don't get into relationships if you don't love yourself, if you don't accept yourself. I tell my daughter, if somebody tells you your hair is looking good, tell him, I know. I went to the salon, I know. Are you getting my point? Tell them, my dad gives me a bouquet. Sasa wewe mtu wa kwanza kukwambia tu look cute unapojitambua. The first thing, accept, understand and love yourself. Before you talk about compatibility, do you treat yourself? When is the last time you treated yourself? When is the last time you felt good about yourself? Ati ukienda kofi lazima upelekwe na mtu. Jipeleke. And I don't like some restaurants meeting either beji ama nne. Hata ukikaa peke yako, hata waita na watu watakuangalia mbaya, yaani umechelewa. But you went alone to have dinner. Is there anything wrong? Hebu tupiga tukizi kukai. Hawa wanachukua. Aki-experience wewe. Now listen. Love yourself before we talk about compatibility. Because listen, two broken people meet together in a relationship. They are completely broken. And in psychology we say, hurt people hurt others. Because you're coming with hurt. Don't understand yourself. You are crushed. You are crushed. So love yourself first. Then we look at compatibility. By the way, there are people here who tell you, oh, that was my soulmate. I am telling you, piece of it in psychology that it at his soulmate. I finally met my soulmate. There was soulmate. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, without the first things that I talked about, hata useme ni soulmate wako, hata kucheza. Are you getting my point? Wacha tusonge hapa tuko chache. Utapokewa kusema. So we are talking about compatibility, guys. Compatibility. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Now, there's a number of the screen. Nancy, where's Nancy? Nancy, if there is any question that is coming up, I will want to discuss that tomorrow morning, Nancy. If there is any question that has come. Just before that, remember, love yourself. The Bible says love your neighbor, isn't it? But you cannot understand love if you don't love yourself. You can't give others if you've not given yourself. You can't give to others before you do unto yourself. I don't know if you're getting my point. Okay. Come on, you say you respond to all the questions. Now, now listen. You may be here. It's not an altar call, by the way. You may be here and you're in a failed relationship. Sounds like a lot. Let me tell you a story. I was a deputy principal in a school. Let me tell you guys, a deputy in Baya. Si mnajua kama kuna kati deputy alikuwa job to remove this. Deputy is not a job. It's not a job. It's not a job. So as a deputy principal, kazi yangu ilikuwa nyingi. When this will be in high school. When food is bad, who announces? When the performance is bad, who announces? This is the issue, who announces? When the school passes, who announces? That's how it is for them. One of my jobs was to write speeches for her. So William, I've been invited for a prize giving on Friday to get a speech. Maybe not in speech, take on the weather, my mother is on me. Friday ikafika. Wacha nikwambie kazi principal kwa kwa nyingi. Then amekumbuka. You are supposed to go for a prize giving. Ameenda. Kidogo amerudi tena. William alikuwa kwa speech kwa mikono secretary kwa speech. 10 minutes later secretary ndio officer. William, I've made a mistake. It's a witch. I've given the principal the wrong speech.
Oh?
Which one? The one you had to for dinner. Guys, let me tell you, amefika late. What do you fika late mbaya? Amefika late kabla atoe speech amesikia. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor has arrived, so please keep on us. Ameitwa. Ameenda stage. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very sad day. Today is a very sad day, and death is not good. I know most of you are very sad. And when I look at the coffin here, see all of which trophies. When I look at the coffin here, I know most of you are sad. But I can tell you death is not final. There is resurrection of the I said, I'm your audience of which you are polite. I can change story. I know some of you are wondering why I'm reading the funeral speech now, prize giving day. But let me tell you, for the students who are not receiving these trophies, it's like that. That's the goal of the day. But failure is not final. There is next time with the resurrection.
I don't know applause for William Timberlake. So we sent some questions via text and carrying them out, and William is maybe to respond. I'm feeling so broken because my man convinced my sister to making her believe that I'm a bad person. The same man who cheated on me with another sister of mine and told me openly, you know, they tell you the truth, but the same man who was secretly talking to my very best friend and told my sister that Anna is a Geuza Katiba and still tells my sister how much he loves me. How do you respond?
Who has a gun? Who has a gun? This one is a gun. This one is a gun. Now, I have no confidence. But I'm going to tell you something. I have no confidence, but I'll tell you something. I can do this for photographer. What James Dobson writes a book that says, love must be tough. Do you understand? Love must be tough. I know Father is there and God hates divorce. I know Father is there and the Bible tells us until death do us part. I know Father is there. Here we are told, just mother for what of that? For better and as a head. Sickness and in health. To love and to now, listen, love must be tough. There are times of mental health we have advised, do not wait for those things. There are people who are dying in marriages because they're waiting for me and death. For the other person has died. Because that's what the Bible says. When you look at your mental health, look at that case. I think there's some signs that would have told this person it is time to leave. I know it's hard. I know you have nowhere to start, but God will make a way. Love must be tough. Love is not blind. You will not abuse me and stay with me. You will not ignore my exception. Am I talking to you? And yet, this is the hard fact. I know there is forgiveness. And there is forgiveness. The Bible tells us to forgive how many times? 7 times. And that's not the way to sit down. But honestly, mtu amekupokea mara moja kwa tatu. Ni watu wakati wake kupokea this happens. And then when your life is in danger, what is that? That's your tell. When your life is in danger, please get it. And your life will be in danger mentally. Your life will be in danger physically. But just before, look for a third person, third party. To be your best couple. It will be your church pastor or father or a counselor. Please get some voice of reason. Because at times the problem we were with. Are you getting my point? At times the problem we were with. Umemdeny. Kila siku akikuja huku anapata. Sile watu wanapata umefanya nguo nyingi za kulala. Hata kitu kitokea usiku kienda nje kama vile kwa soja. Because of the way you sleep. So please, look, the problem may be you, okay? But let's try to discuss it just to move the time.
Okay. So that lady, that you can see Nancy has offered in the name of my affair to see you for therapy for free, okay? So you can also see. My 2 cents on that also again is not wait for a red light to be green. You see a red light, which it is, go when you can, okay? Question number 2, please talk about age pressure and children, even if I'm married. I'm often shamed for it in my social circles. I feel horrible even sitting here tonight because after this I will go back to the same emptiness. So please talk about age pressure. I am 32 years, a lady, and married. I'm often shamed for it in my social circles. I feel horrible even sitting here tonight because after this I will go back to the same emptiness.
Human beings have a calendar. Human beings have a calendar. They know when you should finish school, when you should start working, when you should get married, when you should get children, the first born, second born, and third. Even when you should die. Human beings have a calendar. But Absolutely. Who dictates the calendar? Unfortunately, whether you are, even when you get money after first year, we shall visit you and ask you, what do you have an academic after that? What do you occupy in plans? There is an expectation people put. For me, let me tell you, age is what society has put. Even eldership, youngness, it's in people's calendar. There are times God pushes you to the end so that you trust Him. And I'm going to be spiritual now. Because human beings have their own limitations. And there is no reason why somebody should feel horrible actually using that word because of what society dictates. Now let's change and let's shift. If I was in that situation, I would even be thinking about the things that would make me happy about myself. The other day, something where I work, single lady, 40-something, goes and takes students to post and she comes on and says, you know how boring it is now. I'm telling her, when you're going to post, did you ask anybody for permission? Think about it. Did you ask anybody for permission? She said, no. If you were married by the other saying no. At times, look at the benefits, trying to decide, I'm going to treat myself well. There are times instead, go to Westlands or stage, angalia magari zinataka how many ladies are in those cars. Ladies are trying to treat themselves. There are ladies who can go for dinner, 3, 4 ladies are not waiting for a man, enjoying themselves. Are you getting my point? There are ladies who want buy a shoe, very expensive. Na jamaa yuko na kiatu tunamchekelea, yuko tu kwanza men we should drop behind the dress. To treat ourselves nicely. So remember, guys, calendar, the human calendar, God's calendar are different. There are people here who are frustrated, not in relationships, that I don't have a car because my friend has a car. Who are you competing with? Are you getting my point? Yes. Because we shall never ever be the same, all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we don't have time. We shall ask Father to give us more time. And I want to finish the story. Can I finish the story? Yes. And this is the story. Can you remember Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein. What did he discover? Relativity. Theory of relativity. When he discovered the theory of relativity, he went to many universities talking about it. He got so much money, he got a car. He got so much money and employed a driver. So any university he would go, who would be told to sit in front? Albert Einstein. Who would sit behind? So one time the driver told him, boss, we've been invited to many universities. Next time we get an invite, let's exchange clothes. Then I'll talk the way you talk. And Einstein agreed. The next invite, Harvard University. Deal or not deal? Deal. So when they entered, who was told to go in front? Who was told? The driver. Who was told to sit behind? Albert Einstein. The driver was introduced. He gave such a nice speech about relativity. Until one professor said he has a question. You know this was a question related. Do you know who was being asked?
The driver.
The driver. Do you know what he said? How long have you taught in this university? The professor said 20 years. He said, I can't imagine a professor of 20 years can ask such a simple question. And because of that, I'm going to call my driver to answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm my driver.
We always try to make these sessions by 8:30. It seems it is always possible to end by that time. Now it's already 9. But we can just maybe a few of them like 3. And the team from Miami have committed that to every question that we send, they are going to at least write a response. So no question will go unanswered. That can be to attitude side. At least a response of one form or another may be sent. If you want an engagement, maybe even an online engagement, they're able to engage with you online. They can create a Google Meet and then you can have a conversation and so forth and so forth. So just read a few more questions.
Okay, by the way, you can take that number in case we can therapist and we can provide one for you within your classes. So please take that number as soon as you but in fact goes straight to our CV of Nancy. So a few questions. Hello, I was dating this lady for 8 months until this year, when I felt like I don't love her anymore. I feel like she's not the one. My father left us when we were young. I've been facing anxiety all my life. All my relationships are from work. I don't know why. I used to love her. But all of a sudden, I don't feel the same. Okay. Why is it that most men are narcissistic? Okay. What about if communication is not reciprocated? And finally, what is the difference between communication and over-communication and simping?
Over-communication and
Simping the same.
Senatio is healing from the roots. Senatio is not making what is not right. Everything about that marriage has to be okay. There is no agreement. And then the marriage has to have a certain stability that is normally in marriage. So wale ambao wanakuja leo wanakuja wiki mbili, anakuja baada ya mwezi mmoja, hii sio senatio. Senatio pia sisi to understand what it is by understanding what it is not. You cannot sedate somebody who is having a second wife. So at you work with sedation because it's a second marriage, no? That can be a second, that can be sedation. Sedation means that in every sense it is a marriage, ordinarily. But for whatever reason, one person is not able to commit, maybe it is not understood by the man. He is okay, he is free, he is a believer, but he is not willing to come to the marriage and other such circumstances. So it's a gift from St. Paul to married couples who want to partake of the Holy Eucharist. They are not in every sense. But some specific reasons they are not will be able to give more specific responses and some documents. Then allow me to invite Kimaya for some announcements before I give the final blessing and some appreciations. Kimaya pia tunakaribisha kwa
God is good and all the time. Sijaweza kuingia kwa stage, so niko na shaka na kwa kuingiaje. Now, very brief announcement. Leo hapa man of few words. So, number one, wacha nianze na ingine. We have some very beautiful t-shirts. How many are champions of hope? Wakati wako na mahomu hii dunia, hata wale wenye wako na hizo zingine. So if you're a champion, we have got something for you, very beautiful. Kama unajua pia usafi ni ngumu, tuko na black pia. I mean, wale wanafanya kazi hizi chafu sana, tuko na black na blue. Bei pia imeweka tao peke yake, wachana na ile ya dikoni ya zikima na kwenye hii ni tao peke yake, tunakupa. So if you need them, tunataka kupasho tafadhali, naomba uweze kupata yako. Second announcement is about our program. Next activity is YCA. Ni gani nafuata? Gani nafuata? Ati gani? Singles. Wana mnakuwa watoto kwa singles, kuna single edition and couple edition. So that is next month. Najaribu kuangalia 3rd of May na 10th of May. So ila wani last time ulisema tuanze na single ndio mtu apate kuja tena couple. Tumewapanga so ukuje single, alafu ukuje upate mtu uende campus. Hiyo ingine nilikuwa na ngoja ndio kuja venye father aliannounce that this time round, by the way, thank you very much kwa already support. This time round tumetumia less na 14,000. Kuna parokia hapa hivi imeamua kutuchangamkia. Kama unajua umetoka OLV Makadara, naomba tafadhali simama. OLV simama. Kwa nini wote? Wewe akiwa kupeni makofi hawa watu wamekujenga na mandazi zinatosha Katoliki nzima. Watu wa media kuwapiga picha. Wanaonekana kwa picha, wapigeni picha, watu wa video watupeni video. Remain standing tukuchukue video the next time. The next time tukuone vizuri. Akisimama kama siko wewe. Sikusema Makadara General, nilisema OLV from Makadara General. Good, thank you very much. God bless. So mkikula mandazi kuenjoy, mnaona hizo sura kwa hiyo mandazi. So next. Sawa kati. So next, tafadhali if you want to sponsor anything, na kuna wale pia wenye walitusponsor last time. Wenye walitusponsor last time, asanteni sana through your donation. We were able to cover all the last event expense. We lacked 1,000 peke yake. Hiyo 1,000 unaona tafadhali alikosa. Well, so ni 1,000 peke yake kubaki sawa na same hivyo. So thank you very much for kujitolea last time. We request tafadhali tuko na page hapo, unacheza na simu yako, tuwafunze venye inaenda. Enda kwa simu yako, ukiona kitu imeandikwa Safaricom, bonyeza. Tunaenda pamoja, nenda kwa M-Pesa, bonyeza. Haki watu wengine wabonyezi. Nyingine round 2. Round 2 ndio tujaze utukamu. Enda kwa lipa na M-Pesa, bonyeza. Naona watu wengi wanabonyeza. Kila mtu kwako lipa na M-Pesa, hauna simu. Anaenda kwa benki, bonyeza. Kitu watu wengine wako na simu expensive, lakini hata wabonyeza. Business number, bonyeza. Kwa wengine hata wameshika hivi simu ikawa wanapiga selfie. Bonyeza, umebonyeza. Hiyo namba ni gani? Ni 8999790. Bonyeza. Aya, enda kwa hiyo ingine ni account number 200321. Bonyeza. Hiyo next namba pia nini? Usisome hiyo next. Weka 2, weka 1, sorry, weka 1. Weka 0. Hiyo ni password yangu 0. Bonyeza. Finya mpe nimeandikwa okay. Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? Kuna brother pale ananiangalia na ubaya. Sawa. Bonyeza. Password yako unakumbuka? Fuliza. Finya 1. Wenye kufuliza finya 1. Finya yes. Umefinya yes. Send. Thank you very much for your message. God bless. Finally, our next Catholicity is on 6th of June. 6th of June, sita. Leo tulikuwa kwa 4. Next ni sita. Alafu wengine itakuwa ni 8. Saba tunaanza. So, tutawaambia wengine asanteni sana. God bless. Na kama unafikiri bado nataka kutoka kitu, unaweza niona baadaye, alafu tutasonga mbele. Now, OLV wamesema ukunywe chai ushibe kama uko single, wenye wanataka kuja single naenda tu na kama sio chai iko, Catholicism bila nyinyi kushow up haitakuwa, si ndio? So please clap for yourself for that credit. Now, we want to appreciate. Kuna mtu mmoja sisi Catholicism ianze je kwa sasa. Ni nani? Ni nani? No, nataka ku appreciate Father Victor for always standing with us. Hata alitoa pesa in advance. Alitoa pesa zake in advance with the hope that tunatoa kitu alafu zikudia huko ndio kuangusha. Haya, tafadhali tumpatie zake tangu wote si ningesema ni wote tukakumbuka mimi brother. So haya, mpatie zake tatu. Thank you. Now, we also want to appreciate wale wenye wanatusapotiki. Kuna catechist, kuna seminarian, before tukia kwa Dickman. Kuna seminarian, kuna catechist, kuna wenye wanatayarisha hizi zote ndio kweli kutoa kwenye na management ya kanisa. Anatayarisha wote. Ayapatie zao hapo. Tunapatia kanisa. Niko tulisikia leo niko nako sawa. Nako sawa, mwenye kuwa na nao sio na kwa wakoka hapa. Yaani anakuwa kufanya kazi ya marketing. Haya, tayarisha tayarisha. Hata wakisimama wote. Tumechoka. Tumesema nyuma hapo niko. Hapa niko. Ni moja pekee yake. Simama tu appreciate twende tupate zake. Thank you. Now, last. William. Nakwambia sasa sikuwa nataka kutumia kama William kiweza kayo, lakini tumesikia ni William pekee ndio tunasema William sana sio. Yule facilitator. Kindly stand. Wasaidizi wao ndio mimi kama ule alisoma kizungu ni kama mzungu na yuko Afrika. Anaitwa Kamau Mwana. The only people with good English Kamau Mwana. Alafu karibia. The only lady in the team. I walk. This is my Afia team. Please out for Batia Tana. I walk. Asante sana sisi kwa nini kamera tunapiga ule pekee kwa wale ambao wamesimama. Okay, sawa. Asante sana. So, wewe tujipigie makofi kwa kukuja. Wacha pale. Sorry, wacha pale tunapishia kwa manasi. Awo. Wapatie. Thank you. Now, kabla tukuje kwenu, watu wa media, tunaona wenye wakoreji wengi, NTV, Citizen, KTN, Moshene, wote, tayarisha. Wasimame. Nakwambia tulikuwa live. Ninyi mkiwa hapa hivi kuna watu kutoka US. Haya, tuwapatie zao studio. Tuwapatie zao badala. Asante sana kwa watu yetu wote. So, hii usipige kidogo huko hapo. So, naipigia hivi. 3. Sio si unapiga na pumzi sana usijiumize. Haya, watu twende. Asante sana kwa dawa bless kwenda jioni. Safari njema kurudi kwenu.
Tatu za
Office coordinator for YCA in getting us funds with a lovely amazing job. I have written a few points but we can move on to Saturday. But kuna kadhaa nakumbuka ya kwanza in the conversations we are having I thought and we thought we should say something. Anytime you engage in sex outside marriage,